What's up, y'all? It's your boy Steph, back with another reaction. This time we got King Spook, music from the basement, Creepypasta, uploaded January 24th, 2019. Down in the description will be a link to King Spook's channel, along with the link to this original video so you guys can see it for yourselves without my commentary. Before we get started, y'all already know how I feel about basements and attics and crawl spaces. Y'all already know how I feel about those, so this is probably going to be creepy as fuck. But without further ado, let's get into it.
At the age of 15, I was friends with a girl named Lily. Lily lived in my neighborhood, about a half-mile from my parents' house. Since her place was on the way home, we usually walked back together after school. It was the last week of October and unusually cold. It felt like winter.
Yeah.
The neighborhood trees were shedding, and I found myself wading through a sea of leaves as we walked up her driveway. A row of smiling jack-o'-lanterns greeted us from the front porch, and the yard was dotted with fake gravestones. On this particular afternoon, the rest of her family was out doing something. There were no cars in the driveway, and the house looked empty. Lily's dad was a dentist, and her mom was an attorney, so their house was gigantic.
It better be.
It was a 3-story home with a big basement, painted pale gray with a black trim. The roof was tall and steep, and the windows had old-fashioned wood shutters.
Creepy colors.
It must have been built 100 years ago, and it clearly had character. The place was kept in good shape, but was still undeniably old. We headed around the side of the house to the back door. In the backyard, 3 or 4 cats were draped lazily over various pieces of patio furniture. There were even more inside. A pair of piercing yellow eyes locked onto me from inside the kitchen window as another jet black cat stood stationary on the windowsill above the sink. Her mom was something of a crazy cat lady. Lily pulled the key out of her backpack and unlocked the door. After about an hour, we heard music coming from downstairs. This wouldn't have been that strange except that we were the only ones in the house.
You thought you were.
We both thought someone had gotten home, so we checked the driveway, but there were no cars. We listened quietly for a minute or so as the music continued. It sounded like classical music from what we could hear. Finally, we decided it was in our best interest to go investigate.
Nah.
When we got down to the main floor, it became evident that it was piano music. The source was not immediately apparent. I remember that Lily's dad had a nice stereo system, so at the moment, I figured that was where the music was coming from. When I looked over at Lily, however, I could see the look of horror on her face as she stared towards the kitchen.
I bet.
"What is it?" I asked her. "We have a piano. It's in the basement,"
Of course it
she
is.
said weakly. "My grandmother's." The words struck my heart like a flash of lightning. Lily continued. "She used to live here with us until last winter. But the piano, none of us even know how to play it. It's covered in a sheet." We both slowly walked to the kitchen where the door to the basement was located. The old wooden door, painted a dull beige, was ajar. We stared down the steps, which extended into the blackness of the basement. Exquisite piano music poured loudly from the darkness. There was no doubt about it. Someone was in the basement playing the piano.
Or something.
I could hear the resonance of the sustain in the wood, the foot pedals thumping between measures, the gentle clack of the keys. Whoever it was, they were playing beautifully. We both stood at the door for what seemed like an eternity, listening to the sad piano music droning up from the basement. We nervously whispered back and forth what to do next. Neither of us really wanted to go and see who was down there playing.
Leave the house.
After what seemed like hours had passed, I finally gathered the courage to shout down the stairs.
The courage?
The only thing that jumped into my head was, "Who's down there?" The music stopped abruptly.
I figured that was gonna happen.
Lily and I just stood there in the kitchen, not breathing, staring at each other's faces.
Get out of the house.
The silence echoed in my ears.
What are you doing?
Lily took a timid step forward and flicked on the light switch located near the top of the steps. After a couple metallic clicking noises and a buzz, the lights flickered on, just at a view at the bottom of the steps. We went down into the basement together. And as you might imagine,
Nobody.
the room was empty,
Yep.
save for a gaunt wooden piano covered in a white sheet. We investigated the room together. Lily checked one side of the room near the piano. There was a rusted washer-dryer combo off to the side, and next to that, a deep ceramic sink with a long crack in the basin. No evidence of anyone or anything nearby. I checked the back end of the basement, where there was a stack of old Time magazines bound tightly in twine. Then I noticed the basement door that led to the backyard. The door was slightly open, just enough for me to see through the gap to the outside. I opened it up to the concrete stairway with an iron banister, which led up to the easement behind the house. Just then, a gust of wind picked up a torrent of leaves, sending them skidding down the alley nearby. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked wildly. There was nobody there.
It's time to move, ain't it? It's so quiet because the only light source is my lamp right here.
I'd just like to thank the patrons. Thank you, Alexander Rodriguez,
Really?
Amber K. Whitaker, April Rose, Bronzy Buddy, Caleb Dwinkies, Celeste Schmidt, Sherry Fairstein, Christian Nolan, Christina Duncan, Cordo Rudent, Daniel Smacala, David Harner, Deborah Alexander, Dragonfly, Dustin Askew, Dustin May, Gage Garza, Gothic One, Heather Snodgrass, James Jewell, Jennifer, Jonathan Shane Hill, Jules Latona, Kawaii Gamer Girl, Kevin Fiddler, Kyle McLaughlin, Lecter, Lee Lawrence, Ludatic, Logan Courtier, Mark A. Sazander, Marcus Briskini, Matthew Bergman, Matthew Jackson, Matthew Lowe, Minister Elena C. Henderson, Maud Farouz Ghazali, Mr. Black, Mr. Black's audio animation, Maya Lynn, Nathan G. Griner, Nico E., Patrick Kelly, Shanna Gilbert, Shion, The Fat Man, The Plague, The Albedo, and Wicked Star. Thanks a lot, you guys, because if YouTube monetization goes away, you guys are the only thing pretty much keeping me making videos, because I won't really be able to spend much time making videos because I'll have to take more shifts and whatnot. But thank you very much, and have a good day.
There's got to be an easier way for you to go through that list of patrons and supporters of the channel than naming every single person. Like, just have the credits going down and just have it like that so it's not as time consuming. But no, so the only light source is my lamp, and there's no other noises besides the video. So when it went quiet for a while at the end, I thought that was it. That's why I started talking. So when he randomly jumped on and started talking again, I was like, oh shit. It's been a while since I've recorded at nighttime. So, I mean, I'm just trying it out, see how it looks. I may need to get another source of light. So it's still like, it's brighter because I know it's kind of dark because I'm kind of dark. But it's kind of dark, so the quality may not be as good as the ones that I do like during the day. But I'll try to get something figured out. I want to be able to record videos in the daytime and the nighttime. But especially at the nighttime because it's creepier than it is during the daytime. Yeah, it's definitely time for your friend to get a move on, because if they stay in that house, they're going to get fucked up. The family's going to get fucked up. And if you keep going over there, you'll get fucked up too. Ghosts do not discriminate. But an old-fashioned piano being played by a spirit or ghost or whatever, that's so cliche, but it's so creepy at the same time, because every time they investigated, they had just missed the spirit. The door would be open, it's a rush of cold air, also big signature that there's paranormal activity afoot and all that. Nah, bro, ain't no investigating. Y'all know for a fact y'all the only ones in the house. I'm gone. Because what robber, what intruder is going to go to your basement and start playing your old-fashioned piano? Really? For real, bro? That's some new shit to me if that's what robbers are on nowadays. Last time I checked, robbers broke into houses to steal money and other valuables and get out, not to play old school instruments. But don't think for 1 minute that I condone or support robbery. Get a damn job. Do something. Make money on your own. Don't take other people's valuables because you too damn broke or too damn lazy or too damn stupid to get your own shit. That's all I'm saying. But that is it for this video, y'all. If you like my reaction, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. And if you really liked it, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. And tap that bell icon so you will be notified every time I drop new content, which I do on a weekly basis. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.